Guys, before we start the video, let's appreciate that masterpiece from Glashütte. It's a watch from the 60s actually, believe it or not. It was made in Glashütte, which is a place in Germany. So made in Germany, and I'm absolutely in love with this timepiece. I prefer watches that most people don't own, and I prefer watches that look classical. Okay, small goodie before we start the video. Let's go. I know everybody's bearish. I know everybody is gone. And I know most people think that Bitcoin is dead. In this video, we're gonna cover some points and reasons to be optimistic for the future. My name is mikemadz. Let's go. Before we start the video, please do me a favor, like, comment below, check out my links in the description, and of course subscribe. Okay, before we get to the positive news and the positive outlook, we have to cover the price movement of Bitcoin. As you can see, long story short, we're still chopping sideways, just like I was anticipating it to do. Okay, for me this range definitely is just a sideways chop, mental massacre for most people. Most people will get burnt out, most people will get bored, most people will be washed off this market and already are. Okay, as you can see, we clearly got rejected again off the $25,000 mark, and we are moving down in this range with which we have been in since June. Okay, currently at 19,800. Really not much to say here. Okay, RSI is looking okay, not oversold, not overbought. There is definitely ways to go down. My personal hunch, like I said in many videos already, possibilities of double bottom is fairly high. So creating a double bottom sooner or later, and which is basically moving sideways until October, is a possibility. In that time, the bull market support band will be trending down. A lower bull market support band with a stable price means that sooner or later we should hold it as support, and then we go from there. Simple as that. No rocket science, no quantum physics, anything, just basic a basic outlook. If you zoom out, sideways movement, nothing changed. I know it's stressful to follow those prices. Keep your head straight. If we go to the higher time frames for Bitcoin, the weekly chart, and take a look at the RSI, you clearly can see that we got rejected off this resistance trend line we have here, and we are moving down for the RSI towards the heavily oversold areas again. Okay, so I will keep an eye on this trend line. Maybe in the future, if we pump back above it and hold it as support, to see where we are at in the market. Okay, if you look at the Bitcoin shorts, interesting fact here, since the 1st of August, the shorts have been slowly, nothing too major, increasing again in the anticipation maybe that we're finally gonna dump below 17,500. And the longs, nothing too major here, but since the 13th of July, slowly trending down, as the sentiment, of course, is slowly getting exhausted and people are anticipating lower prices. Most people. That's definitely the general sentiment as of now. Okay, if you look at this chart here just now, if zoomed out, you can see that hopefully and maybe we're holding this $20,000 top we had in 2017, 2018 as support. And my personal favorite outcome, of course, is that we stay at these levels, move sideways until October. If the macroeconomical and macro political outlook will finally pivot again, and the war will subside, and the Fed finally pivots or gives signs of pivoting, I think the rocket ship is back on, and the risk on assets and the risk on market will boom again. Okay, but as of now, things are moving sideways. My personal hunch again, I will give it time until the end of October, then maybe hold the bull market support band as support, have a couple months of confirmation and accumulation phase above it, and then we go from there. As of now, I'm DCAing, I'm buying at certain prices, attractive for me, and I will tell you now why. Okay, let's get back to the positive part of this video. Most indicators actually flash that the bottom is in or is very, very close. This is the main reason why I'm already DCAing into the market, but always I'm having a cash position on hand if, of course, all my models break and then we go lower. However, my personal hunch, again, not financial advice, the bottom is in or is very close to 70,500. Okay, if you look at the Bitcoin rainbow chart, which is basically a logarithmic regression band, I'm a fan of the logarithmic regression band. Why? Because it shows the exponential phase of an asset in the beginning, but it also shows the diminishing returns in the future of the asset, okay? Diminishing returns, why? Because an asset can simply not go 100x each cycle. Diminishing returns are a real thing, even in nature, or let's say a good quote from Benjamin Cohen, if I have this monitor here, a second monitor would help me, third monitor would add some sort of value, however 10 monitors actually it will just cost me more money and give me zero returns. So diminishing returns is everywhere in life, and it is also prevalent in Bitcoin, of course. Okay, I know most people wanted to go to 1 million the next cycle. I have to wake you up, I'm sorry. Anyway, if we go back to this chart, the Bitcoin rainbow chart, you can clearly see that we are in the lowest regression band here, which is basically a fire sale. So great time to DCA if you follow this model. Of course, all models will break eventually. However, this model here has been respected all along, okay? We had some sort of deviation here in 2020, and we had some deviation to the upside. However, the bottoms have been respected mostly, and we're currently trending at those levels here, okay? Good thing about the regression band, it's moving higher every day. All right, coming to the next thing, Bitcoin wallets, and especially wallets with over 1,000 Bitcoin. Of course, exchanges might fall into that, and of course, funds might fall into that, but it also encapsulates whales for sure, okay? I like to follow smart money. Smart money usually, or most of the time, buys into fear, and smart money sells into strength, okay? So the opposite of what dumb money does, dumb money currently is out of the market, okay? Dumb money has been shaken out. They will be back once Bitcoin reaches 100,000 again, and then most probably it's going to be too late because they're going to buy the top. All right, if we look at the chart here, you can see there is a slight but significant increase in wallets that hold over 1,000 Bitcoin. So the complete opposite of what the actual market sentiment is. The market sentiment currently is fearful and doubtful. However, there is more wallets that hold over 1,000 Bitcoin. You can clearly see in the first run up of the cycle, they sold into strength, which is absolutely perfect because they sold into the peak, and where most noobs went in, they actually sold. Currently, most people are selling, but the wallet size, the wallets with over 1,000 Bitcoin is slowly increasing again. So generally, of course, a good sign. Okay, coming to a very, very important point of the video, okay? Blackrock and institutions in general are slowly entering the market, and which time they're doing so is very, very interesting in my opinion. This article here, of course, it has been covered before by many YouTubers, but it has fell under the radar in my opinion. This was published August 18th, and actually Blackrock decided to have a Bitcoin fund for their institutional investors, okay? This was announced by Blackrock August 11th, okay? A very interesting time because we're in a brutal bear market. However, BlackRock, a very traditional, very conservative, I would say, asset manager, the world's largest asset manager, I have to say, decided to offer crypto or Bitcoin to their institutional investors, which is huge. You can clearly see that the interest is there. If you look back a couple of years, Bitcoin was considered internet drug money or whatever, okay? We're clearly at the point of time where Bitcoin is respected. The power of Bitcoin is actually was demonstrated in certain countries, and Bitcoin is starting to get into the institutional investor type asset mindset, okay, which is very, very important because in order to reach those $100, $200, $300,000 levels, just having retail money is going to be very, very hard. We need institutions to come in, and we need institutions to see the value proposition of digital gold of Bitcoin, okay? And slowly, of course, clearly, I mean, looking at this headline here, it was a couple of years ago, this was unthinkable. So clearly we're moving in the right direction, and clearly most of you need to zoom out. You need to see what smart money is doing. This is the point of the video. And you need to have conviction in your investment strategy and go from there. Coming to the end of the video. Yes, the general sentiment is looking actually very, very grim. We have a war going on, and we have inflation still not under control, unfortunately. We most probably are in a recession already, or we're going to be in one. That's guaranteed. So this is the time to understand which assets you're going to invest in, and this is the time where you need to look at what smart money is doing. I hope I gave you some positive inputs for Bitcoin, but keep in mind, please take everything with a grain of salt, do your own research, and this is not financial advice. This is what I'm doing, and I'm currently DCing into the market clearly, and I openly talk about it. So if I'm wrong, you will see that in the next couple months and years. However, I think, my personal opinion again, this is the time where you need to dig down, and this is the time where you need to lay the foundation for the next cycle, or you will be late again, and you will buy the top again, and you will buy the mania phase again, instead of buying the fear, and instead of buying the uncertainty. Most important thing is, as always, don't get wrecked.